about 4% of them were aged about 31 to 40%. That also tells you that in the livestock trade, actually majority of the members are people who are above 30 years of age. But also interestingly, many of those that we also interviewed had experience within the livestock sector of about 1 to 10 years. And one other interesting thing that you could also find about this group of people is that quite a number of them had no education. 38% of them had no education, but they are engaging in the livestock sector. 31% of them actually had secondary education. And so you can see that, the livestock sector, the traders and the livestock keepers, quite a number of them are actually people who are engaging in this business with no technical skills or very limited technical skills. But also, interestingly, this is a sector that is quite dominated by male. 98%, as per our study, are actually male, and only 2% are female. The question we ask ourselves is, they are all that the female can play? Why are they left out within the livestock sector? Now, and in terms of the agricultural GDP, it contributes 40% to the agricultural GDP. For those who may not be aware, the agricultural sector contributes about 30% to the overall GDP in Kenya. And agricultural livestock sector actually employs 50% of the agricultural labor force. So you can see what it is able to do now. What if we enhance the potential within the livestock sector? More will be realized within this sector. But again, livestock sector also supports about 10 million livelihood of Kenyans, those that are dependent on the livestock sector. But also, one thing that we also need to understand, that actually Kenya is the third largest holder of livestock in Africa, just behind Ethiopia and Botswana. But as we will later on see, again, despite being the third largest one, but again, in terms of the meat, we still have deficits in our country. So that is really a concern that we need to think through as we do this. So
this report will be critical for all persons working in the livestock industry to better understand challenges that bedevil this sector. It will greatly inform our interventions. The government of Kenya is focused on implementing the Big Four agenda that include food and nutrition security, universal health, access to housing, and industrialization, where livestock is expected to play a central role in at least 3 of the drivers of the Big Four agenda. This therefore calls for a concerted effort by all stakeholders as we develop programs, projects, where we must take cognizance of this current policy direction. Information from this study should greatly inform the implementation of this national agenda. The ministry appreciates the immense potential that is held by the livestock industry and its contribution to the economy and livelihoods. The livestock sector contributes immensely to the country's GDP, which is often understated due to inadequate, reliable data. The challenges identified in this study will spur us to rededicate our efforts in timely generation of accurate data on livestock resources to support planning for the livestock sector.